The sunk cost fallacy, why we keep investing in lost causes. Have you ever found yourself sitting through a terrible movie simply because you already paid for the ticket? Or staying in a toxic relationship because you've been together for years? Maybe you continued working on a failing project at work because too much time and money had already been spent. If you answered yes to any of these, you've experienced the sunk cost fallacy firsthand. The sunk cost fallacy is a powerful psychological trap that convinces us to continue with something not because it's beneficial or rational, but because of the resources we've already invested. These resources, whether time, money, effort, or emotion, are sunk costs. They're gone. But the more we've invested, the harder it becomes to walk away. It's a mental glitch that keeps us stuck, and understanding it might be the first step toward making better decisions. What is the sunk cost fallacy? The sunk cost fallacy is a cognitive bias where people continue an endeavor once an investment in money, effort, or time has been made. The core mistake here is believing that continuing will somehow justify or recover the investment, even when it's clear that cutting losses would be the smarter choice. It goes against rational decision-making, which tells us we should make choices based on future benefits and costs, not past expenditures. Yet emotionally, we hate wasting what we've already given. The psychology behind the trap. So why do we fall into this trap so often? Loss aversion. We are more sensitive to losses than gains. Losing what we've invested feels worse than gaining something new feels good. Commitment and consistency. We want to appear consistent to ourselves and others. Backing out feels like admitting failure. Emotional attachment. We become emotionally tied to our investments. Letting go feels like letting a part of ourselves go. Social pressure. People often fear judgment or ridicule for quitting something they've publicly committed to. Hope and optimism bias. We believe that maybe, just maybe, things will turn around if we keep going. Real-life examples of the sunk cost fallacy. 1. Relationships. Staying in an unfulfilling or toxic relationship simply because you've already put in years. The emotional investment clouds your judgment. 2. Business and projects. Companies often pour millions into failed products or ventures because they've already spent so much. Cutting the project would seem like admitting defeat. 3. Education and career paths. Someone may stick with a degree or career they hate just because they've already spent years studying or working in that field. 4. Entertainment. Continuing a book, series, or movie you don't enjoy because you've already spent hours on it. The economic perspective. In economics, sunk costs are considered irrelevant to future decision-making. Smart economic behavior means ignoring sunk costs and making choices based solely on what will bring the best future return. But humans are not purely rational, we're emotional beings, and that clouds our ability to make clean decisions. Why it's dangerous. Falling into the sunk cost fallacy can waste valuable time and resources, increase stress and frustration, prevent you from exploring better opportunities, lead to poor financial decisions, delay progress and growth. The longer you stay, the more difficult it becomes to leave. It's a vicious cycle. How to recognize it? Ask yourself, am I continuing this because I believe it will lead to success? Or am I continuing just because I've already invested a lot? Would I choose this path again if I were starting from zero? If your answers point more toward past investment than future benefit, you're likely caught in the fallacy. How to break free from the sunk cost fallacy. 1. Shift your focus to the future. Remind yourself that past investments are gone. The only thing that matters is what will bring value moving forward. 2. Separate emotion from logic. Step back and try to evaluate the situation as if it were someone else's. What advice would you give them? 3. Establish clear goals and metrics. Decide in advance what success looks like. If your efforts aren't meeting those goals, reconsider your approach. 4. Practice letting go. Walk away from small sunk costs regularly. This trains your mind not to feel guilt over unrecoverable investments. 5. Accept that quitting isn't failing. Quitting something that no longer serves you is not failure, it's wisdom. Sometimes the bravest thing is to stop. 6. Seek outside perspectives. Talk to someone impartial. A third-party perspective can often help break the emotional attachment clouding your judgment. The role of self-compassion. Being kind to yourself is essential. The shame or guilt of wasting resources often fuels the fallacy. But you did the best you could with the information and emotions you had at the time. Forgive yourself, learn from the experience, and move forward. Final thoughts. Cut your losses, reclaim your future. The sunk cost fallacy keeps us anchored to the past. It traps us in jobs, relationships, and situations long past their expiration date. But here's the truth. What you've spent should not determine what you keep spending. Recognizing the fallacy doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're choosing growth over guilt, wisdom over stubbornness, and freedom over fear. Every minute spent in a lost cause is a minute stolen from a better future. Let go of what no longer serves you. Make space for what does. The freedom you gain might just be the most valuable return on investment you'll ever make.